Hello guys, and now it is official. All of the Russian South is left without gasoline and even diesel. That is a result of very smart, beautiful Ukrainian special military operation inside Russia in Samara region. During August, we systematically destroyed one by one 4 of their largest oil refineries that were working for the Russian South. And last night, we destroyed Russia's backup plan, a railroad for cargo trains they used to bring more or less fuel to the regions in case of emergency. This is very creative, very beautiful and very effective, taking into account this growing gasoline crisis all around the regions of the Russian Federation. And compare that to the tactics of the Kremlin. Again, Kyiv was attacked with 600 drones and missiles, killing 18 people, including 4 children. The world is watching. Some people keep saying Russia needs to negotiate when it's pretty obvious. The only working peace plan is to defeat and demilitarize Russia, and I'm proud that Ukrainian soldiers, Ukrainian drones are working on the implementation of this plan. So let's discuss what happened in Samara region during this August and what consequences this has for the Russian war in Ukraine. My name is Anna, I'm from Ukraine. I'm in Ukraine, in the brave and beautiful city of Kyiv today. Subscribe to demonstrate your solidarity with Ukraine, and please share this video so that more people around the world know the truth. I think even if you know nothing about Ukraine and Russia, even if you wanted to remain neutral, right now is definitely the moment to choose sides. If you compare the targets that the army of the country that defends itself chooses with the invaders, I think it's obvious whose side you should choose. We keep paralyzing their oil refining industry, destroying their military arsenals that otherwise they use to target innocent children when they are sleeping in beds. And Russia simply keeps erasing cities, lives, hospitals, schools. It is not a sign of strength. It will not bring them victory. Ukrainians are super resilient, and after each of such strikes are more and more determined to finally defeat once and forever this collapsing Russian empire. Empires do not survive in the 21st century. And that is why all of the Ukrainian military strategies are developed to paralyze the Russian war machine. What are the effects of destroying apartment buildings in Kyiv? What is the effect? Just grief of people and maybe more determination to defeat the Kremlin. But the results of the destroyed oil refineries are very obvious, and let's discuss them. Because since, I guess, this summer, you can see more and more strategically developed operations, not just drones destroying oil refineries, causing troubles to the oil refining industry, but the consequences are growing larger and more important for the whole regions of Russia, and I'm sure the population understands the trouble is ahead. So during August, Ukrainian drones systematically kept targeting oil refineries in Samara region. They had 4, and that Samara region worked like the oil, fuel, gasoline, diesel hub for the south of Russia, the agricultural region, the region used by the Russian army because it's not that far away from the front lines in Ukraine. So during this August, we kept visiting the oil refineries with Ukrainian drones, and I even have this calendar because it began with Novokuybyshev oil refinery on the 2nd of August, then followed Syzransky. It's one of the largest. They literally didn't have a possibility to stop the fire for days. Then Volgogradsky, and finally last night that was Kuybyshev. 4 of the existing oil refineries in Samara region, that is a hub for their fuel, for their diesel, were destroyed during 1 month. Subscribe to witness the collapse of the Russian economy and then the collapse of the Federation, and don't be afraid of that. Share the videos and watch my video on a new channel, Anna Danilchuk, where I describe why the collapse of the Russian Federation actually started. It's inevitable, nothing that you can do apart from be prepared, control the process and enjoy the results, because the results may be way better than Putin constantly threatening the world and Trump clapping for these bloody ideas coming from Moscow. So during 1 month, we managed to destroy all oil refineries in Samara region that was responsible for the supply of the Russian South. And here I want to address Donald Trump. It's not a problem to defeat a larger country if it's Russia. Russia is miserable. Russia is large and totally unprepared to defend its strategic objects. Come on, guys, don't you think they wanted to protect these oil refineries? Don't you think they had some premonitions? They realized something bad is happening in the context of tremendous gasoline crisis? And we keep now targeting, apart from these oil refineries, also strategic supply lines. Yesterday, I've told you about the Ryazan-Moscow pipeline, bringing fuel to Moscow. The heart of the evil empire. And if Putin is worried about the opinion of any people in Russia, these are ones in Moscow and, of course, in St. Petersburg, his hometown, that exploded with fireworks for the Ukrainian Independence Day. So that was Ryazan-Moscow pipeline yesterday. A couple of days before that was Druzhba gas pipeline. And today, this is a cargo railroad, actually 2 branches of it, that helped Russians provide more fuel to the south in case of emergency. They knew emergency was coming. It's pretty obvious when you see these huge lines of people trying to get some low-quality fuel in a country that was once a gas station. That is a total failure, not just of Putin's blitzkrieg, forget about that. It's a total failure of his project. He managed to reconstruct the USSR, but he managed to reconstruct this USSR just days before its collapse. Similar long queues, tremendous shortages, constantly rising prices, and more people who do not understand what is happening and why do they live so bad. And all that performed with inexpensive, developed in Ukraine drones. Isn't that time to support Ukraine, to help us defeat the evil? If you don't care about these poor children, if you don't care about families that were targeted with missiles during night, if we have serious problems on the planet with moral clarity, then simply choose this surviving mode. You need Ukraine with our drone skills to protect you from China, from Iran, from North Korea. Because we can keep, moving borders, demonstrating weakness, and then a beautiful ocean will be ahead of us. It doesn't work like that. If you have doubts, read the history of the Second World War. It all seemed very simple, just like a peace and forget. Sacrifice someone smaller. It never works like that because dictators grow appetites. And Russian drones near Warsaw, Russian drones crossing borders of Romania and Lithuania, it's not an accident. It's not a provocation. It's a message. Learn to read these messages. I was normal before the start of the full-scale invasion. I also thought it's impossible because it's irrational, it's violent, but Russia is violent and irrational. And our task is to demilitarize it. That's the only way to bring lasting peace. And these Ukrainian drones, hopefully soon Flamingo missiles, ruin Russia's war machine. And Russian war machine consists of 2 pillars: their economy, and their arsenals, their weapons. By targeting oil refineries, we actually target both because they need fuel for tanks, for bombers, and they also need fuel to sell it. But they have already banned the export. And that is with tremendous budget deficit that they are not able to hide anymore. So please, Keep spreading the news. This is so important because many people still observe the world and all this situation from old Soviet, like lens, or how do you say it? Russia is the weakest ever, and now is the time to defeat it. Trust me. Thank you for your kind words and for your support, for reading the news from Ukraine, not being afraid of them, not skipping them. That is also very, very important, and I personally value that, and all people in Ukraine value that. Once again, lots of love from Kyiv, the capital of beautiful Ukraine, strong country that stands for freedom and democracy of the world, not just the territory. Follow me on X, Instagram, Blue Sky, Threads, Discord, all the links in the description of this video. And same, we have a merch shop. You can find the link in the description with lots of good products that can help you remind people about Ukraine, our fight, and the need to defeat the evil. Thank you for buying me coffees, becoming my patrons and sponsors of the channel, but most importantly, thank you for standing with Ukraine. Slava Ukraini!